What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our week number 10 team builder in BTA Season 8. We are currently 7-2 this season, which has been a fantastic season, mind you. Especially with the draft that I didn't draft myself. I think that's really interesting about how this season has panned out. Like my girlfriend kind of picked my team and go from there. Has been a lot of fun. I might do it again in the future. We'll see. I'm also trying to get her into the league eventually, so we'll see how that works out. And next season's going to be a lot of fun too, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really fun season, and this team has been a lot of fun to use. Let me see if I can find our differential real quick as well. We are 7-2 with a plus 21 differential, so we have had a lot of really big wins this season, which I think is really important to note. A lot of our wins have been pretty massive. We're actually currently in the top 4 in the league, and also we have Amon that's currently number 1 on the kill leaders, so that's also really fun. So we're trying to make that final push to really secure one of those really high ranking spots going into playoffs. I think that's going to be very important. I don't remember off the top of my head how playoffs work exactly, but we're certainly going to try our best to nail ourselves down a really good spot in playoffs so that we can really go hard. The goal is to go as hard as we possibly can in playoffs this season, and hopefully potentially win it all. That's really the goal here. I just want to win. I just want to win out this season. I want to finally pick up that big BTA crown. I want to scoop that up for us. I think that'd be a really awesome way to cap off this really fun season. So, but this week we are taking on my girl Lexzzi and her Rocky Mountain Rajas. We've actually played Lexzzi a bunch of times in the BTA in the past. She's currently a transitioning transgender coach in the league. She's fantastic. I love that. Have so much respect for her and all LGBT people out there. I think y'all are so strong and y'all deal with so much, and all the respect in the world to all of you. But unfortunately, your girl Lexzzi, I gotta beat her ass this week. It is the way it is. So, me and Lexzzi have had a bit of a, I wouldn't say rivalry, but, we've always had really solid games against each other in BTA, and I don't believe this season will be any different. She's been on a bit of a slump, unfortunately. She has not had a very successful season, but, that is by no means going to have me count her out as an easy win or anything, because it's still I've gone in and underestimated Lex many times in the past, and it's bitten me in the ass. So this is not going to be one of those situations. I'm not going to allow that to happen again, hopefully. I prepped really hard for this one, so we're going to see if it'll pan out. Her team, as you see below me, well, as usual, below me. The mirroredness of looking at myself in the camera always screws me up, but it's right down there. Consists of Mega Medicham, Tapu Koko, Entei, Gastrodon, Flygon, Drapion, Archeops, Ferrothorn, Rabombi, Cophagrigus, Avalugg. I feel like I'm trying to do the Poke Rap or some shit. That would never work. Can't rap for save my life. Anyway, yeah. So really scary team. Obviously, let's go over some of the major threats. Mega Medicham. We have very little on our team to deal with it. We have one mon that shuts it down entirely, which we are definitely bringing. But for the most part, it kind of just rips holes through our team. It hits so incredibly hard with that pure power boost to its attack. It's so strong, and even with just things like Fake Out, being able to come in and just do that kind of crazy chip to Amon is not fun. Koko is actually one of the other top 5 kill leaders currently in the league. So despite not having a great season, the Koko has been putting in incredible work, and she's used it amazingly well. So I'm really... It's definitely a huge threat to our potential kill leader. Gonna have to really, really work to make sure that we don't... that we can, beat it pretty effectively and quickly, so that we can hopefully, we can end up in a situation where, our kill leader can shine. That's what we're really hoping for this week. Entei, decently threatening, but we do have some really solid switch-ins to it, so I'm not super worried. Gastrodon, super bulky. Our kill leader can't touch it outside of toxicking it, or if we were to run Power Orb, Solar Beam, that would be cool. But it just doesn't fit on the team this week. So it's going to be a pain in the butt. But I think we have a great wall for the Gastrodon, and we have plenty of ways of just kind of chipping it down and whittling away at it. She actually lacks a cleric, I believe. I don't know if anything on our team gets cleric moves, so I think that could be very, very important for us this matchup. Flygon actually is incredibly threatening against us. We do have things that can tank hits from it, but it's not pleasant. I don't like doing it, and Flygon is just a really, really strong Pokemon against our team. Ground has always been a threatening type against us for the most part, so definitely going to be annoying. Definitely going to be very annoying, to say the least, in this one. So hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully we'll be able to get past the Flygon pretty easily, or for some reason she'll be scared to bring it. Please. The Drapion, its knockoffs could be a threat. It does kind of threaten one of our Wish Passers a little bit, but not... overall, not super worried about that one. We do have, ways of dealing with it pretty effectively. Archeops. Archeops nukes most of my team very easily, too. Archeops is so strong. I hate Archeops for how strong it is. A Banded Archeops just kind of, most of my team barely avoids an Oko from it, but, that's because of... I had to heavily invest to avoid being OHKO'd by Banded Archeops on a lot of my mons, so that's an annoying thing. We definitely have ways of dealing with it, and obviously if it clicks Head Smash against a lot of our team, it's going to take a lot of recoil and potentially put itself already into Defeatist. So if we could just get that thing into Defeatist as fast as possible and try to keep pressure on it so that it can't roost against us, that would be very, very very, very nice. So I'd really like to keep that thing from doing much. Ferrothorn, I'm not super stressed about because of the simple fact that we do have Volcanion, and Volcanion doesn't care about it, and that's pretty much about it. We also have other ways of 2-KOing it on the team, so I'm not super worried about it, 2-KOing it on switch-in, so I'm not stressed about Ferrothorn too much. Hazards could be an annoyance, but we have ways of dealing with it. Rabombi is one of the most annoying mons, solely because of the fact of Sticky Webs. Sticky Webs could be a huge threat for us. We are bringing removal to take care of it, potentially, but it could still be a threat if we're not able to get rid of it fast enough. So we're going to have to really, really try to make that a priority, for sure. But again, I'm not super stressed about Rabombi. We have ways of dealing with Rabombi, pretty easily. Cofagrigus could be annoying, but it's not great on the special side. We do have hard-hitting special attacker as one of our main mons, so that's going to be great to deal with it. And just kind of being able to whittle it down potentially with Toxics as well could be a very important strategy for us. But we have ways of dealing with the Kofag. I'm not super duper stressed about it. And then Avalugg, we have Volcanion, and Volcanion just beats Avalugg hardcore every time, so I'm not even remotely Avalugg, I don't even think shows up to the game, so yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. I just don't think Avalugg has any reason to show up to this game at all. so it won't. But yeah, that's her team. I think I'm scared of Koko, Metacham, Flygon, and Archeops, probably, across the board. A lot of really strong offensive mons, but we have our ways of dealing with all of them. So, first up, we have Buzz the Volcanion, holding the Charty-Berry, rocking the Flamethrower, Steam Eruption, Defog, and Toxic, 248 HP, 252 defense with a Bold Nature, and 8 into special defense. Being fully physically defensive pretty much makes it so that Volcanion is untouchable for his team. We chew hits from just about everything on her squad. I apologize. Yeah, we chew everything on her squad pretty easily. With the Charty-Berry, we do live a head smash from Archeops, barely. We also, with the Charty-Berry plus defense investment, we actually, as long as he doesn't crit us, or she doesn't crit us with any of them, I apologize. That's something I need to still work on. I was doing so good, too. I am sorry, Lex. Yeah, with the Charty-Berry, as long as she doesn't crit us with the Stone Edge on Entei, we live 2 Stone Edges guaranteed, like, the first one with Charty and then the second one afterwards. So, like, this thing switches into Entei pretty well for the most part, which is pretty nice. Steam Eruption is, like, our dual stab outside of Gastrodon is pretty much unguarded against her team as well. Like, as long as we can Toxic the Gastrodon and get rid of it pretty quickly, Steam Eruption / Flamethrower is pretty much unresisted by her team. Steam Eruption especially, they have... The only resist to Steam Eruption is Ferrothorn, and when your only resist to my Water Stab is a mon that's 4 times weak to my Fire Stab, you don't really count as a resist to me. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be super duper difficult for Volcanion to pick up a few more kills this game. It's going to be a matter of timing. And like firing off which moves win, but I definitely think that Volcanion has all the potential to really shine here, for sure. And just in general, like, this thing like does a lot of damage. And then obviously we have the Defog to deal with like potential sticky webs, and also this thing switches on Ferrothorn pretty easily. So if Ferrothorn tries to set up any hazards at all, spikes, stealth rocks, whatever, we can come in as it sets it up and threaten it immediately out and just defog it away immediately. Like, we will, like, this thing is designed to make sure that hazards do not stay up on our side of the field for more than 5 seconds. Yeah, this thing is very, very strong. Yeah, and obviously, like, with Gastro being a switch into this thing, like, we do have a mon that completely walls it, and I will go over it in a short bit. But, yeah, I think that Volcanion just does a lot of work here, and our goal is to make Volcanion overall kill leader of all time, period. Like, I believe the record right now is 18 kills, is the current, like, kill leader record, I remember correctly. So we're shooting to break that. We are at 17 now. We literally just need like 2 or 3 more so we can like really cement the spot. That's kind of what the goal is for Volcanion. And this week and next week, we're going to try really, really hard to snag that top spot for Volcanion. I think that would be really cool if we can go through this season and do it. Because I love Volcanion. I've loved using Volcanion, and it has been a massive destructive threat throughout the course of the season. So super duper hyped about that. Such a good mon. Next up, we have Madoka, our Sylveon, rocking the Leftovers Pixelated ability, 248 HP, 200 defense, bold nature, and 60 in special attack. We are rocking, moveset-wise, the Hyper Voice, Wish Protect, and Mystical Fire. So, okay. So, Protect, Wish Protect, obviously, for healing, and also we need the Wish to Wish Pass to our team. I think that's going to be very important this week to be able to do. Protect actually kind of helps a little bit deal with the Medicham, because it allows us to protect and dodge like the Fake Out, because Fake Out and Bullet Punch does so much damage to Sylveon, so being able to stop the Fake Out prior to the Bullet Punch is super important. Hyper Voice rips through a lot of Lexzzi's team. Her team does not appreciate a stab Hyper Voice from Sylveon at all. So the 200 defense with the Bold Nature and obviously max HP allows us to take under half from anything from Flygon, obviously outside of like an Iron Tail and prior to a Dragon Dance, of course. But like this thing just hits everything incredibly hard. This thing hits everything on the team hard. The only things that resist the Hyper Voice are the Entei and the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn we 2-hit KO with Mystical Fire if it is physically defensive, which I don't believe it would be for this matchup, but it's entirely possible. And we have a slight chance to 2-hit KO if... Like, we have a slight chance to 2-hit KO if it's Spadef. We guarantee 2-hit KO if it's Spadef, but not a Spadef boosting nature. I believe it's like 51 to 60%, something like that. And then if it's a Spadef boosting nature, I believe it's like a small percent chance with leftovers that we can 2-hit KO. But it's our best possible chance to 2-hit KO the Ferrothorn. So that's pretty cool. And Mystical Fire is not a bad thing to be able to click either against other things, because, you know, weakening the special attacks coming in from like a Kofag or a Rabombi could be very nice. One thing I've noticed about Lexzzi's team is she has a lot of like very strong physical offense. So like a lot of Armand's being more phys def is definitely going to be beneficial for us in this matchup, I think. But yeah, Hyper Voice itself is just gonna like being able to just click Hyper Voice against a lot of things is gonna be really, really great. And you know, we will also OHKO the Medicham if it just goes for the Bullet Punch against us. I believe we do. Sylveon, Pixelate, Hyper Voice against Medicham with Bullet Punch. We have 248 HP and 200 defense bold. Yeah, Bullet Punch does like 37 to 43 to us. We tank a lot of hits from this thing pretty easily, and Hyper Voice just does, without even adding our special attack investment, Hyper Voice so goes. It does like 117 min with our investment, so that's pretty sick. So this thing can beat Mega Medicham and, you know, a lot of the other members of the team pretty well. So I do like that a lot. It's going to be very important to try to scout out like the damage that we're taking from some of her team. Try to see like what the damage output is looking like, so that we like best know how to deal with each mon. Hopefully we'll be able to take care of Coco early. I have a plan for that, but again, we'll get to that. But next up we have our boy Shroomzy, the Amoonguss, holding the Black Sludge with the Regenerator ability. Spore, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Synthesis, fully physically defensive Amoonguss. Very simply, this thing needs to be Phys Def to take Brave Bird from Coco, in every sense of it. Being fully physically defensive, I actually need to bump it slightly to give us our best chance to take it after rocks. I believe we have like a very high percent chance, but it's still like they have like a 5% chance of OHKOing us after rocks. With Brave Bird from like a Banded Coco. Like, obviously I don't believe that she's gonna bring Banded Coco. I think Special Coco will work a little bit better against our team, I think, in my opinion. So I definitely expect a Special Coco instead, but at the same time, would not be surprised to see the Brave Bird come out from Coco. I think she might just bring that just specifically to deal with Amoonguss, I think. Yeah, Spore could be useful. We're going to have to be careful with using Spore, mostly because of the fact that Coco's electric terrain prevents things from falling asleep that are affected by it. So anything that's grounded on, like anything that sits on the ground, will be affected by it. So I won't be able to Spore some of those mons. You know, a lot of mons on the team. I'll be able to Spore things outside of terrain, which is nice. Or I'll be able to Spore things like the Archeops or Flygon, if even in terrain. So I'll just have to be really careful about when I click it. It's just going to be, you know, all a matter of timing. Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb just for dual stab. Giga Drain nukes the Gastrodon and just gets us some nice recovery against things like Archeops, Flygon, and stuff like that. And then Sludge Bomb, just another strong stab, hits things like Rabombi and Coco incredibly hard. This thing can't touch Ferrothorn, but I personally don't believe Ferrothorn shows up, and if it does, we have Volcanion for it every single time. So I'm not super duper worried about it. We can actually tank a Banded Head Smash from full from Archeops, which is very important, and then it knocks itself immediately into Defeatist range, which is also really nice. We have a 50% chance to live Zen Headbutt from Mega Medicham, which isn't great, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of big threats to Amoonguss on this team, but there's enough reason for Amoonguss to show up that we had to bring it. We absolutely had to bring it. So it's here. Next up, we have Free Wi-Fi, the Licky Licky. Leftovers with the Oblivious ability. No taunts for this boy. We have Wish, Heal Bell, Knockoff, and Body Slam. So, Wish, obviously, I just want to be able to pass Wishes around again. This thing also lives a Head Smash from Archeops pretty easily. Well, not pretty easily. It lives it after Rocks, barely. But again, it knocks itself into Defeatist afterwards, so that's super duper important. Wish for passing Wishes. Heal Bell is here because, like, one of my two good switch-ins to Entei does not like being burned, and Sacred Fire obviously has a high chance to burn. So, with that in mind, I wanted to have access to Heal Bell so that I could get rid of those burns and keep things safe. Being physically defensive this way, being built this way, allows us to, or prevents a 2 KO from a Banded Sacred Fire, as long as we don't burn. As long as we don't get burned on the first one, like, we're fine. Knockoff is going to be so important, because a lot of the reason why a lot of the mons that she does do crazy damage to our team is because of the items they get to carry. Things like Bandit Entei, Specs Coco, stuff like that are going to be really, really annoying to deal with. Or like Life Orb on Flygon and stuff like that. So being able to just click Knockoff and get rid of those is going to be super duper vital for our team. I almost brought Mega Absol this week solely so that we had access to Stab Knockoff, but I felt with things like Rabombi running around, just being naturally faster and resisting our Dark Stab, as well as Medicham with its hard-hitting priorities, and Coco just being faster as well, and hitting us incredibly hard, plus extreme speed from the Entei, kind of just nuking us. I just felt like Absol just didn't work as well as it could, as well as I would have liked it to in this matchup. And then we just have Body Slam just for stab. If we can get Paras on things, that'd be really cool. But it's pretty much literally just there for stab. I don't know how much we're going to actually click Body Slam. Honestly, these top 3 are probably the only moves we're going to be clicking for the most part. Maybe I'll change Body Slam for Toxic later on, before the matchup. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't completely made my final decision on that yet. We'll see. I'm not sure. Do I want to do that? I kind of do. Yeah, I'm gonna just run Toxic. Because there's, like, no drawback to doing so. And like, Body Slam doesn't really help us too much with a lot of things, so... just being able to whittle things down is going to be really, really important. Like, spreading Toxics on this team is going to be super duper crucial, I think, to us. Next up, we have Zygarde, Mongolian the Zygarde, rocking the Roselli Berry, Aura Break for its ability, of course. 1,000 Waves, Extreme Speed, 1,000 Arrows, and Toxic. So, Toxic, obviously, I'm just going to get that one out of the way. Toxic is specifically for, like, the Gastrodon. To whittle that thing down, that's very, very important. We're running max speed with Jolly Nature to speed tie with Drapion and outspeed anything slower, of course. Or if anything's running like Adamant, like Entei or Medicham, so we can outspeed those. We have 136 HP and 120 into attack. So the 120 into attack is actually what was left over after I put the 136 HP, which allows us, with the Roselli Berry, to take under half from a Specs Dazzling Gleam from Coco. So this thing is designed to 1v1 Coco. Coco, you know, wants to try to nuke me with like a Specs Dazzling Gleam, right? Tries to smack us with the Dazzling Gleam. We eat our Roselli Berry. We live that shit. Decently well. We hit it with 1,000 Waves. Now, 1,000 Waves doesn't OHKO. I don't believe it OHKOs. It might OHKO. I mean, if it just OHKOs, then that's cool. Thousand Waves has a chance to OHKO after rocks, but we're not setting up rocks, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. 1,000 Waves is there so that we can eat the Dazzling Gleam, trap the Coco, right? We trap it in, and then we can kill it immediately afterwards with an Extreme Speed, because, alright, it be locked into Dazzling Gleam, right? It's locked in. So, with that, it's, you know, it's not going to be able to and it's not going to be able to switch out. It's not going to be like Shed Shell or anything. I don't think it'll be Shed Shell. So we can just KO it with an Extreme Speed immediately afterwards if the 1,000 Waves misses out on the KO. So no matter what, this thing just can beat Coco 1v1. Prevents it from being able to click its electric moves. It'll have to run U-turn if it wants to get momentum. I mean, if it just U-turns out, then that's fine. We can still deal with that. I'm not super duper worried about it. But I'm interested to see if... I hope this set works out exactly how I plan it to. That would be great. I would really, really love to just beat this thing. How much does Extreme Speed do to Ribombee? Not enough. Not enough. Okay. Yeah, so I think Zygarde is going to be a fun one this week, and I think it has a lot of potential to do some really, really good work here. So fingers crossed that Zygarde will be able to put in that kind of work. Plus, 1,000 Arrows just hits a lot of his team really hard. That's goes without saying. This thing also is a really good switch into Head Smash from Archeops. Even Bandit Head Smash doesn't even do a KO, which is nice. So this thing is a good way of dealing with it. So cool. Yeah, so that's our Zygarde. Lastly, we have Akimbo, the Doublade. We have not brought Doublade in a very long time, because it's just, it hasn't really fit a lot of our matchups. It just didn't feel right. However, this week, we need it, because Medicham does a number to the rest of our team. And even with Fire Punch, Medicham can't even 2-KO this. We resist one of its stabs and are immune to the other, and it doesn't get a lot to deal with Ghost types. I wish we had a better, like, bulky Psychic type to use for this, because bulky Psychic types hardwall Mega Medicham. I've done it with a Fizdef Behemoth before in a draft thing. So, yeah, I think that would be really, really cool if I had that, but unfortunately we have Oricorio, which is our only Psychic type, so unfortunately that is the situation we have here. By the way, I can tell my opponent we're bringing the Fire-type Oricorio next week. Why? Because I haven't brought the Fire-type Oricorio at all this season, and I promised myself I was going to bring every form of Oricorio at least once. So, just so you're aware, you only have to prep for 5 other potential mons. One of ours is going to be that Oricorio. I don't care about giving that information out. I'm not super against giving that information out because it's just an Oricorio. It wasn't going to do much anyway. I joke because obviously Oricorio, we've won every single time we brought it. So, but anyways, back on the important topic of Akimbo the Deblade. With the Eviolite, and obviously these defensive investments, 252 HP, 180 defense with a relaxed nature. Shut up, kid. Jesus Christ. Children are so annoying. I hate kids. My lord. Hate children. That's why I don't want to have them. They're so loud and annoying. Anyways, the Fizdef prevents an Oko from Banded Entei, which is super nice. And by Banded Entei, I mean, like, not from Sacred Fire, I mean, like, Banded Entei in general. We don't get Oko'd by a Flare Blitz from Banded Entei, which is nice. We prevent a 2 KO from a Life Orb Flygon pre-Dragon Dance, so Earthquake does not 2 KO us. And we are not 2 KO'd by Banded Archeops, which is also nice. Like, Banded Earthquake does not 2 KO us, which is very nice. So, pretty much deals well with any physical mon on this team. We have Toxic so that we can wear down things like the Gastrodon, more effectively. As for the moveset, we have Shadow Sneak, Gyro Ball, and Swords Dance as well. Shadow Sneak is there for the Medicham. It's the hardest thing we have to hit it with. We do like a crazy amount of damage, like 40-something% to that thing. 40 to 49% to that thing on a regular basis, which is really nice. And then Gyro Ball just kind of rips holes through things. Flygon, if it tries to set up a Dragon Dance, gets freaking rocked by a Gyro Ball. It gets 2 KO by a pre-Dragon Dance. It 2 KOs most members of the team. Okos, things like Rabombi pretty easily. It's just really, really strong. Deblade just works really, really well in this matchup, and I'm really, really happy that I noticed that, because I was super scared about Medicham until I looked back at our team and I was like, oh, we have Deblade. Deblade just wins against Medicham every time. So that's pretty sick. Deblade's going to be a lot of fun here. So yeah, super duper excited about that. But yeah, so that's going to be our team for our Week 10 matchup. I'm just not sure if this is like, if this goes up like 1 week after our matchups against Mark, then that's super awesome, because we're supposed to play today. This is like the Friday after our matchup with Mark would have gone up, and typically would be the normal like weekend that our match would go up against Lexzzi. But we did have like the week after, like, so how it usually works is like my matches and team builders go up the weekend after the week ends for that matchup. So like week 9 ended the Sunday prior to when my stuff went up with Mark. So like, but that, and that would normally have been week 10. Like week 10's battles would be taking place that week, and then get uploaded the week after. We had a bye week during the course of what normally would have been week 10, so now week 10 started this past Sunday. So we'll see if I get this uploaded on time, because we were actually supposed to play today. I'm recording this on Friday, so if we do get to play, if we play today, which we're supposed to, it'll be pretty sick, and I should be able to get that recorded pretty quickly and get it all uploaded this weekend. So. We're going to certainly give it a best shot, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up another win and get Volcanion that kill leader slot. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here as they start to mow the lawns, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace!